purpose of the Digital Leadership Forum is to help you innovate, learn and grow in the age of AI.
If you look at the forecast, by 2025, 25% of all the data generated will be created in real time, with 95% of that data coming from IoT devices. Well, you can't extract the value from that kind of data stream without AI. By 2021, 75% of all enterprise applications will include elements of AI within them. So we recognize that AI is actually a potentially daunting topic to many people, and believe it's critical for businesses to have a foundational understanding of what it can do.
As Intel, we're very privileged to work with a lot of companies on their adoption of technology, not just AI, but including AI. Probably won't come as a surprise to many of you is AI is particularly different in some areas, but in some cases it's just the same as any other project. If you don't have a proper approach to it, it's very easy to get off track and to find things run away from you, or to run into barriers and walls that you didn't see coming. And so the real point of session 4 is to try and offer some insights into what have we seen companies doing who've done this well. And we'll really talk about this process that we have, or this methodology that covers 4 key areas. The first of which is the kind of foundational stuff of really understanding what is the business case, and is it even a business case that's right to be solved with AI. It can be very tempting that AI is the shiny new thing and people try and apply AI when in some cases you actually don't need AI. So how have you judged that use case to make sure that it is the right one for you and that AI is the right tool. The second piece of which is really the most critical one in many ways, but often the most overlooked, which is data and the data pipeline. AI can look like magic to some people, and certainly it can behave that way. But the fundamental thing is, without the right data, AI will fail. And so we spend a lot of time talking about, making sure there's an understanding of what data is required to solve that problem that you've identified. Do you have access to the right data today? And if you don't have access to it, how can you get it? So foundational stuff, data and understanding that data pipeline, before you even get to the next stage, which is around understanding what the right technologies might be. And by that, we'll try and cast a pretty wide net. There's obviously a lot of solutions out there, as Ian alluded to, some of which might involve building things yourselves, some of which might improve or include taking things off the shelf. You might decide that a fast time to solution is more valuable. You might decide that you want to build your own IP. So what are the things that you should consider on that section? How do you test that? How do you evaluate things fairly when there are multiple options for technology? And then finally, what does deployment look like? And by deployment, we mean, implementation in production, scaling, security, continuous improvement, interaction with other systems. What do you need to think about as you move from kind of proof of concept and experimentation into production?